With Fake Patty's Day coming up this Saturday, what alcohol safety tips should attendees be aware of?
And a look at how the Manhattan Town Center is trying to attract new customers. That and more later in the show.
Will the frigid winter temperatures of this year affect your water line? More information coming from City Hall here on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Emily Andrews.
And I'm Alec Madrigal. Today we have election updates for the K-State campus, along with changes that the Manhattan Town Center is making. The Student Government Association at Kansas State University announced that the winner of their student body president late last night. According to the Kristen Shaw, the school's election commissioner, Jansen Penny won by 100% of the votes because the votes for none were thrown out. Penny will represent K-State starting this spring and will remain in office for the 2019-2020 school year. President Jansen Penny and Vice President Ali Karamali will be sworn in on April 4th.
Fake Patty's Day is upon us, and for many college students, it means enjoying their time in Aggieville or surrounding neighborhoods. A holiday based on binge drinking makes alcohol safety a top priority for the Riley County Police and the emergency medical community. Reporter Sarah Wallace has more.
Patty's Day last year, 444 alcohol-related citations were issued by the Riley County Police. 1 in 4 college students report academic consequences from drinking, which is why Director for Alcohol and Drug Education, Gina Donder, recommends that you should review your plan for alcohol safety before Fake Patties this year. Within this plan, she explains how to handle an emergency.
So what would you tell anybody if you see an emergency is you call 911. Now, some students worry about that. If, in fact, it's on campus property and you call 911, because of the university policy, Lifeline 911, there is no retribution for you reporting that. The biggest interest is to get immediate care for the person.
Some advice from the Lafayette Health Center on alcohol safety is to 1, maybe not drink this weekend, but if you do decide to do so, it is highly advised that you keep track of how many drinks you drink throughout the day. Also, make sure you alternate every drink with water and food. And to be a good bystander, if you see a friend who may be drinking too much, it's always a good idea to get them help. For student Brandon York, he has a plan before the weekend comes of how to handle an emergency.
Be safe, make sure your friends are safe, watch out for your friends, make sure your friends are watching out for you, and you're staying on top of each other, and making sure no one's going too hard or going to do something risky that could get them hurt, like jumping off something, or just watch each other's backs and play it safe and you'll have fun.
In Manhattan, Sarah Wallace, Channel 8 News.
This Saturday, 11 outside police departments will be in Manhattan to help with the Fake Patty's Day celebration. Always remember to call 911 for emergency situations.
Almost exactly 2 years ago, a fire ravaged the inside of the Dusty Bookshelf in the early hours of March 2nd, 2017. The culprit was decided to be a new varnishing on the floors of the building that was exceptionally flammable. At the time, the building was considered a total loss, but with a recent Facebook post and brand new window decals, the Dusty Bookshelf announced their tentative reopening this spring. Owner Diane Meredith said it was happening fast, but the community can help with the process.
We're starting over from scratch, so we can make it all up brand new. It can be whatever really the community wants it to be.
The store is now looking for more help from the community with donations and volunteers. You can visit their Facebook page for more information on how to get involved.
The Manhattan Town Center will soon see changes to pricing and will also be getting some structural improvements. Reporter Bailey Short has more.
Manhattan shoppers will soon notice a change in price while shopping at the Manhattan Town Center. Just recently, the sales tax increase at the mall has been approved by the City Commission of Manhattan.
For many years, the mall has half a cent less sales tax than across the street. So when you shop at Best Buy or Hy-Vee, you're paying a half a cent more for sales tax than you are now. So we're going to, with the city, bump up the sales tax here on property at the mall.
The tax increase was not possible until the CID was implemented last June. Sutton says the town center wants to remain relevant, and to do that, they need to utilize this tool to increase the sales tax at the mall. The sales tax at the mall will increase from 8.9% to 9.7%. Most customers don't realize that in comparison, when you spend about $100, you'll only be spending 75 more cents on your taxes.
I think, born and raised here, I see stores going in and out of the mall all the time. And I feel like a sales tax increase might discourage shoppers from coming here even more, which makes me feel like there'd be potential closings.
With the tax increase, Sutton hopes to make a much-needed improvements to the mall. Some of those improvements may include roofing, flooring, paint, lighting, safety issues, and the parking lot. The sales tax will increase in the Manhattan Town Center stores, movie theater, and surrounding restaurants. Customers can expect the change in the sales tax to start sooner rather than later, with the tax scheduled to take place on April 1st. From Manhattan, this is Bailey Short, Channel 8 News.
If you want more information on the sales tax increase at the mall, you can go to manhattantowncenter.com.
For the 11th time in less than 15 years, Kansas State's Black Student Union was recognized as the best in the Big 12 Conference. A group of students from the BSU traveled to the University of Missouri for the annual Big 12 Council on Black Student Government. They received the Clarence Wine Award for the Council of the Year. The honor is awarded to the BSU that shows a commitment to unity, academic achievement, campus programming, and community service. The winners are selected by a panel that reviews each council skit and program book. BSU President Del Shaw Robert said, "It shows that our work is not going unnoticed." At the conference, BSU advisor Brandon Clark was awarded for his dedicated service to the Big 12 Council on Black Student Government. He has been working with the council for 15 years.
We'll be taking a look at how the Manhattan community honored Black History Month,
along with how students should be aware of online scams, coming up after the break.
I was a little hesitant, but I took the time and I looked at it. I said, number one, this is Kansas State University. That's a solid name institution. That is a research institution. It's land grant. You're not going to get better than what Kansas State is and what Kansas State stands for.
And you can actually see it. News. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum came to K-State honoring Black History Month. The Mobile Museum is one of the first traveling Black history exhibits in the country. Created by Khalid Al-Hakim, a public educator, the exhibit features rare museum-quality artifacts that document the contributions, struggles, and accomplishments of African Americans. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum contains more than 7,000 original artifacts representing the African American experience. The items in the museum date all the way back from slavery to the modern-day history of the African American people. The museum includes a KKK hood, official documents signed by Malcolm X and Rosa Parks, vintage magazines, Jim Crow figurines, artifacts within the slavery, civil rights, Black Power, music, sports, and much more.
I think it's very important. It's just like an up-close thing now. We see it all on TV, different artifacts on TV, but now it's like right here in your face. So it's really important because it's like real.
I think everyone should be just aware of the things that happened in the past and aware that this should not happen in future.
To inquire about booking the Black History 101 Museum, contact Khalid via email bhistory101@yahoo.com.
The Information Technology Department says that students on financial aid are being targeted in phishing attacks. According to the IT department, this is the typical time of year when scams target students during periods when financial aid funds are dispersed. Students across campus have been hit with phishing emails that request students to confirm login credentials, allowing the scammers to access the students' accounts. Once they have access to the students' accounts, they are able to change the direct deposit destination within their control. Senior Jake Rube, who works for the IT department, informed us how phishing scams have been a constant problem for students on campus over the years.
Just having worked on the help desk for so long, my biggest tip is to just keep your eyes open while you're looking through your email. As of lately, we've been seeing them more than usual. You know, on the reg, we'll see probably a couple come in every day, maybe a few compromised users every day. Annually, I believe the last numbers were upwards of 100,000.
The IT department says that they will never ask for your password in an email. If you have doubts whether or not an email is legitimate, you can forward it to the IT department and they are more than willing to help.
Later, we will be live at Manhattan City Hall with City Engineer Brian Johnson to learn ways to keep your water pipes running smoothly.
But now we head outside with weather anchor Sarah Wallace. How's it feeling out there, Sarah?
And then out here for weather to see if Kansas should prepare for another cold front.
H1 minus H2 plus V1 squared minus V2 squared all over 2. Fans, are you ready?
I was a little hesitant, but I took the time and I looked at it. I said, number one, this is Kansas State University. That's a solid name institution that is a research institution. It's land grant. You're not going to get better than what Kansas State is and what Kansas State stands for.
And you can actually see it.
Welcome back. Later we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast, but first we're going to take a look at what happens when your pipes freeze. We go live to Dayton Bossard and to learn more about the proper winter care for whenever your pipes freeze at home. Dayton?
Thanks, Sarah. With winter weather rolling across Kansas, your pipes may be affected. Water main breaks are a common problem cities have to deal with when temperatures drop during the winter season. This may cause residents to experience low water pressure and may cut water off completely. Kansas State University's Housing and Dining Services has already dealt with a water main break on Denison Avenue, and winter weather is to blame.
Some water main break that happened over here on Denison Avenue, and that was a difficult one to fix. So you probably saw that for a few days. And that does happen this time of year. The cold gets driven down into the ground and the pipes shift, and it'll shear off a pipe, and we'll have a water main break.
I'm here live at City Hall with Brian Johnson, City Engineer for Manhattan, Kansas. How you doing today, Brian?
I'm great, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to discuss this.
All right. How many water breaks has Manhattan had over this winter?
So we're actually slightly under average for our water main breaks. December, January, and February, we've had about 10 total, and we'd expect about 15 this time of year.
So we're averaging lower than last year?
That's correct. We're actually lower than our 10-year rolling average, which we keep track of. We're slightly under. A lot of that has to do with the weather. It's just been cold and frozen. Subgrade hasn't thawed and dethawed. That differential settlement during thaw and dethaw is when we really see a lot of water main breaks, just because the ground is thawing and dethawing.
Okay, and does the weather make it harder for the workers to actually get out there and fix these problems?
Yeah, it actually does. Not only during snow operations when we just have less people available for water main breaks. Obviously, whenever it's cold and in wet conditions, you get lethargic. People start slowing down a little bit, just due to the natural environment that they're in.
And how do people go about reporting water main breaks?
So that's a great question. The easiest way to do it is just to call here to City Hall to customer service, and they can roll crews, dispatch crews out to go look at it. After hours, we actually, when you call City Hall, it actually transfers over to our water treatment plant, and then those people have on-call folks that they send out and take a look and see what pressures are.
Okay, and so with these being so cold outside, is there any more tips that you have for the people?
Obviously our code services department talks a lot with landlords and homeowners about outside freezing pipes and that sort of stuff. As far as water mains that are in the ground, there's not really a whole lot of tips that we can add.
All right, well, thank you, Brian. You have a good one. We're going to send it back to the desk with Sarah. For Channel 8 News, I'm Dayton Bossert here live at City Hall.
Thank you, Dayton. For our weather today, it is a ripe 17 degrees out here, but for our rest of the day, it looks like we'll be having a high of 27 degrees, but don't get comfy with that. It's going to be low 20s for most of the day. And tonight, you may expect, tonight around 11 o'clock, some flurries with a high of 25. And when we go ahead and take a look at the Kansas map, if you look over in western Kansas, it is 40 degrees and 39 degrees. That 40 and 30 degrees will be coming over our way tomorrow. So expect a little bit warmer temperatures tomorrow. But currently, right now, it is 29 degrees, 30 degrees up in Kansas City, and 38 degrees down in Wichita, a little more southern. And for the 5-day forecast, again, like I said, tomorrow it will be about 43 degrees for your high, with a low of 17. And then Saturday, for good old fake Patty's Day, it will be 26 degrees, a little warmer than what we expected earlier this week. And expect some flurries there also, with a low of 9 degrees. On Sunday, it will be 12 degrees. Again, flurries are possible, just expect it, with a low of -4. On Monday, it will be up to 18 degrees with a low of 3. And Tuesday, it'll get a little bit warmer. You know, it's not really that much more warmer, but it's going to be 25 degrees with a low of 6. That's it for weather. Thank you. Back to you, Amelia.
Thanks, Sarah. So, Alec, have you been affected by this winter lately?
You know, I really haven't. My house has been staying decently warm. How about yourself, Amelia?
Not this year, but last year our heat went out and I went to bed with gloves, a hat, multiple sweatshirts. It was really cold.
That must have been rough. I hope you guys had some space heaters around or something.
I wish. Unfortunately, we did not.
No fireplaces?
No. Where does K-State basketball stand in the Big 12? Sports anchor Olivia Bergmeyer will take a look at that and local weightlifting culture after this.
H1 minus H2 plus V1 squared minus V2 squared all over 2. K-State fans, are you ready?
I was a little hesitant, but I took the time and I looked at it. I said, number one, this is Kansas State University. That's a solid name institution. That is a research institution. It's land grant. You're not going to get better than what Kansas State is and what Kansas State stands for.
And you can actually see it.
Come on, one more.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News.
We now go to Olivia for a sports update about the K-State men's basketball team and a look into the world of weightlifting. Olivia?
Thanks, Amelia. There are a lot of people who find weightlifting intimidating and don't understand the culture. Sports reporter Alex Gailey has more on the story.
Weightlifting doesn't come as easy for some people as it does for others. There are a lot of beginners who can be intimidated by lifting and don't know where to start. Matt Karstetter, owner and founder of the foundation, a local gym in Manhattan, feels that there's a misconception towards weightlifting.
A lot of times people are intimidated coming in here, but after you spend one training session in here, that stigma goes out the window, and that's one of the things we're most proud of.
It's often that beginners compare themselves to veterans of weightlifting, and it can get discouraging. It takes time and dedication to reach these goals. Cassandra Beatty says you need to understand the process of weightlifting.
We all start someplace. So like with me, for example, I began using a 25-pound barbell on squat, bench, and at the time, hang clean. And I was a skinny little shrimp. I was not strong whatsoever. And now here I am today, like on the verge of trying to break an 800-pound total.
Competitive powerlifters must spend around 4 to 6 days in the gym to get stronger each day. This includes Jeff Williams, who is the vice president of the 1863 Barbell Club and has a major goal in mind.
Well, currently I'm peaking for a meet that is actually taking place not this weekend, but the following weekend. And I'm currently aiming to break the Kansas State squat record.
It has taken years for these weightlifters to make the progress that they have made today. If you are ever feeling intimidated by weightlifting, just remember that everyone has to start somewhere, and it's worth giving a shot. In Manhattan, Alex Gailey, Channel 8 News.
If you're interested in learning how to start weightlifting or want to take it to the next level, the Foundation has memberships for sale, which is located at 2800 Amherst Avenue. Saturday was a good day for Wildcat basketball. The men's team cruised to a comfortable win against the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Bramlage Coliseum. 5 players, including non-starters Austin Trice and Sean Neal Williams, ended up scoring in the double digits on the way to the 85-46 win. The Cowboys didn't even make it on the board until 6 minutes into the game. Unfortunately, the Wildcats were unable to carry that momentum beyond the first 12 minutes of Monday's game against the Jayhawks in Lawrence. Dean Wade fouled out in the game, and the Jayhawks won 64-49. The contest for the Big 12 championship title looks very close. K-State and Texas Tech are tied for first, while Kansas and Baylor are tied for second in the standings. Baylor is coming off of a close game last night against Texas. The Bears just barely edged past the Longhorns in overtime. The game ended with a score of 84-83. While the competition at the top is close, so is the competition at the bottom. Relatively lackluster performances from West Virginia and Oklahoma State put them tied at the bottom. Coming up on Saturday, Baylor and K-State will meet on the court in Bramlage Coliseum. We'll see how that game turns out next week, but that's all for sports today. Back to Amelia at the desk.
Thanks, Olivia. After the break, how K-State students are finding some fun ways to take a break from studying, and a look at final weather. Stay with us.
I was a little hesitant, but I took the time and I looked at it. I said, number one, this is Kansas State University. That's a solid name institution that is a research institution. It's land grant. You're not going to get better than what Kansas State is and what Kansas State stands for.
The best kept secret in Manhattan is not a secret anymore. I'm Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Wildcats, and welcome to JP Sports Grill. With daily chef-inspired specials, a full bar, and a diverse menu that has something for everyone, this place is guaranteed to impress. JP Sports Grill, your new favorite spot.
Your identity is who you are.
Feels pretty good. Hurts a little bit when I'm putting pressure on it, but not too bad.
What's your pain level at?
Probably like a 3.
Okay, cool. So much better than yesterday.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start to slow it down now.
Okay.
This was my first time taking an online course, and well, it went really, really well. It really did not feel like an online course for me. It felt like we were in a classroom talking and discussing and collaborating with each other. It's a renowned university, and I really take pride in calling myself a Wildcat, and I'm really proud that I'm a K-State alumni now. So I think it adds up a lot of value that I'm from K-State.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union next. It houses our pool.
Have you ever wanted to sink your enemy's ship? Well, K-State students got the opportunity to do just that at KSU Natatorium last Friday night. Reporter Jason Clapp has more on the story.
The event put on was called Canoe Battleships, and it allowed all students to come and have fun and splash around. The Doggy Paddlers, which are a group of vet students that decided to form together to take their study break seriously by regularly attending events like Canoe Battleships. Lauren Miller, a member of the Doggy Paddlers, says the reason they do it is because de-stressing can be just as important as studying while they are in college.
We formed because we needed some things to do for our mental health and have fun, and we always sign up for all the events and competitions at school, dodgeball competitions, battleship canoes, everything. Because as vet students, we work really hard, and we definitely need time to just wind down and time to not study and enjoy K-State.
The event was organized by the Union Program Council, and according to Andrew Marsh, the director of the event, the way you win the game is by sinking everyone else's ship. But the overall goal is to help students perform better in their classes.
Basically, we bring canoes into the pool, and we have students, teams of 3 to 4, get in the canoes, and they're given a water gun and a bucket. And the goal is to take water and put it into the other canoes and try to sink them, while at the same time people are trying to sink them. Studies have shown, obviously, if you are more involved and you're having a more enjoyable time on campus, you perform better in school. And so I think that's what we're just trying to accomplish. We're trying to create an opportunity where kids can have a blast, they can learn new things, they can experience different cultures.
Second-year vet student Brittany Wiley says that de-stressing is essential for mental health.
Mental health is a big deal in veterinary medicine, so for us to get out and do something that's not studying and not in the books is important for us to finish school, to keep us going, you know.
And while the Doggy Paddlers' hopes of winning this year may have gone down with the ship, it doesn't mean that they won't be back next year.
I just want to say we're going to come back next year, and we're going to definitely beat the competition next year.
In Manhattan, I'm Jason Clapp for Channel 8 News.
Amelia, do you think this cold is going to end soon?
Alec, that's a good question. Sarah, what does this weekend's weather look like?
Well, I'm the expert at that, I'll tell you that. Well, it is going to be a lot colder. Tomorrow it'll be about 40 degrees, a little bit warmer than what we've been seeing. But Saturday it will get to be 24 degrees. So please bundle up if you do plan on celebrating fake patties.
Oh, wow.
Take care of your friends, keep yourselves warm. But then Sunday will be a high of 12. And so yeah, there's your weather.
Right. Well, awesome. As we know, we also have a game on Fake Patties Day, which will be at 7 o'clock at Bramlage. So that's all we have for the show. So stay warm and have a great weekend.
This is Channel 8 News.